You brought a mob to this house? And they were armed too. Were you trying to get me killed? Hello and welcome. I'm Ash Mannix. And once again, we're playing the house in Fata Morgana. Things have taken a turn for the worse, I believe, in the last part of the playthrough. We found out what the real reason was for Giselle to leave, to have been left the Michel's father's house and was sent to the remote mansion. And it was pretty grim. Pretty grim indeed. And we also saw a bit of we see Giselle escapes or runs away from Michel because they have a massive confrontation, and Michel goes all psycho on Giselle, and she runs off to like some nearby village of people that have randomly found this town that was abandoned and rebuilt it, and things look great for a short amount of time, and I suspected something was going to go awry, and it did, and it was pretty bad. They've like imprisoned her, and they were basically giving her, like, torturing her for information because they suspected, or someone had accused her of stealing, and everyone believed it. And the main person, the head of the village, who had been asking for her hand in marriage many a time, and she started avoiding him because it was awkward and she had said no, had turned against her as well. And yes, I believe we ended that part of the playthrough where the village she'd kind of let slip that she'd been working in the mansion, the haunted mansion that no one dares to go to, and that there was plenty of things to get from there that would be worthwhile for them to sell off, and pay off a debt to some horrible landowner that didn't really own the town but lay claim to it or something, and decided that they owed him back taxes. So she's kind of ratted out Michel and his mansion, and is now is now going to lead them there, and potentially Michel might get killed. It's definitely going to lead to a confrontation, so things are particularly grim. I'm intrigued, but I'm also a little bit worried about where this is going to go. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon, but let's I'm just going to hide my face. Let's get into this. Let's see. Inspect my memories. Let's go. Ah, yes, we were in the forest, going back to the mansion with the townfolk, I believe. On the cusp of springtime, I found myself trekking through the dreary forest I'd thought I would never set foot in again. How had I ended up here? How come I could never manage to avoid getting myself in these situations? And who would have guessed that my reason for returning to the mansion would be to loot it? I prayed for God to show even a little mercy and ensure Michel wasn't around, though I knew the chances of that happening were almost zero. After several hours of walking, we broke through the thick woods and the mansion appeared before us. Like its surroundings, the house was bleak and uninviting. Even the midday sun seemed disinterested in shining its light upon it. Despite, on the surface, there not being much of anything impressive about it, the entire mob stood speechless before its overwhelming presence. But the men had weapons, and they were fueled by avarice, which gave them the courage to approach this place they wouldn't normally otherwise. Door won't... Oh, what voice did I give him? Oh, can't remember now. Oh well. Door won't open. I think it's barred from the inside. It would seem someone really does live in this cursed place. I'm honestly surprised. Even more so that it's not a witch, but just a noble.
The door's old, we could break it down. Yeah, let's bust it down.
Hold on, there's no need to be barbaric. Did you even consider knocking on the door like normal people? You sound like a band of thieves. Ha! That's something else coming from you. Who do you think's proposed this plan, Giselle? You. Oof. Alright, men. You ready for lives of luxury? Wow.
Break down that door.
Stop it.
It's the damn nobles who make our lives so hard. They deserve to be robbed. Break it. Break down the door.
Please, stop this.
Break it down. Break it down. Break it down.
Stop! Oh well. All their repressed emotions detonated. They battered the door again and again and again. In a few minutes' time, it was on the verge of collapse. They shouted and cheered and hooted like madmen, as my peaceful life came crumbling down around me. Oh wait, this is Michel. Oh well. Growing lightheaded from the anxiety, I squeezed my eyes shut, unable to bear it any longer. Wait, is it Michel? When the deep groan of a door opening echoed through the forest. It would seem you are not aware of whose house you're trying to break into. Alright, no, maybe that was. Ooh. The world went silent like time had come to a stop. No one could manage to say a word, only stare at the man who had appeared from within the mansion. Surely you know what this place is called? Beneath the dazzling midday sun, he had bone-chilly alabaster skin and long, nearly translucently pale hair. So surely you came prepared for whatever you would find. And his eyes. There you have it. What a handsome man. Look at those eyes though. Were like two blazing infernos staring out across the mob. Yes, so when he had threatened her before she ran away, I saw his eyes were red, and it wasn't. I had a feeling that they were actually red, and it wasn't just like there for effect. And I think there was a comment about this in the previous videos. But it's interesting how Michel is the white-haired individual with red eyes, whereas in the stories up till now, the previous stories, the ones that were so-called, well, perhaps not true, the witch, the white-haired girl was the witch. She was the one with white hair and red eyes, and they focused on that a lot. And yet here we are with Michel, who had said, I believe, that he is the witch. The witch with the white hair and red eyes.
A demon?
Someone muttered, probably unconsciously. He did indeed look like something not of this world.
Ah, it's a demon. The rumours about this place were true. A cursed demon lives there.
Well, here, he's right in front of you. Demon? Him? Michel? No, he's not cursed.
Indeed, I am cursed.
The witch's curse is real. I have inherited it in its entirety, as well as her purpose. A witch, a demon, a spirit impure. Call me whatever you wish, for the truth shall not change. I carry within me an eternal curse. Behold my flesh, pale as the moon. No red blood flows beneath the skin, as it does yours. Behold my hair, utterly devoid of colour, offered up to the devil as part of our pact. Behold these crimson eyes, a symbol of the lifeblood spilt at my hands. I shall bring calamity upon you as the witch of legend. Never-ending famine, plague, catastrophe, suffering for generations. Until the moment of your deaths, you shall regret ever coming near this place.
No, have mercy. We were just... It was that woman. She brought us here, tempted us with promises of wealth, deceived us, told us to pillage this house. We're innocent. Amity, please have mercy on us.
Give her to me, then, as an offering.
Absolutely, she's yours. Torture her however you please.
Wow. Well, I'm not surprised. I have one more condition. You never come near this house again. If you so much as consider it, you will all die by my curse.
I swear it, we won't return. Run, get out of here.
Well, without so much as a glance, the villagers scrambled into the forest, and Amity, the man who had rescued me that night, went right along with them. Is there kindness in the world? I wasn't sure what to think anymore. Yeah, I wouldn't either. Oof. Don't think I'm helping you. His voice rained down on me, but I couldn't lift my head. There was such a gaping void in my chest. I had no idea what questions I should be asking anymore. What I should be angry about. What I should be sad about. Not even the first clue. Look at me.
Look at me, Giselle. Tell me, is it true you returned to the mansion to plunder it? That you brought those men here to rob me of my valuables? Answer me, Giselle.
Yes, it's true. I persuaded them to steal from you.
Are you really so desperate for money that you resort to looting? Just how low will you go? Not only did you seduce my father, what the fuck? Not only did you go digging around for information about me, you brought a mob to this house? And they were armed too. Were you trying to get me killed? Answer me, Giselle. Not even going to defend yourself? Your scheme failed, so you're retreating into silence? Ah, for God's sake, you sicken me. I'm done with you, I'm done. Leave this place and never show your face here again.
As he shouted at me and I stared into his fiery red eyes, a somewhat inappropriate thought crossed my mind. Ah, so he can get emotional like anyone else. And my heart, stripped raw and cast out to sea, finally sunk deep enough to be crushed by the pressure. Me.
What?
If you want me gone, then kill me. You can do that, can't you? You can use your curse to kill me, can't you? Then do it, right here. Use your power. Take my life. And if you don't want to do that, stab me with your knife. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me.
What?
I'm done. I can't take it. I'm through with this whole world. No one will believe anything I say. No one cares one bit about how I feel. They just walk all over me, laughing. Why? Tell me why. Why is this happening to me? I never stole anything.
But what are you talking about?
I tried my best to look happy. I thought everything would work out if I could keep smiling. I believed that would make things better. But nothing ever got better. What did I ever do? Tell me, what did I do?
But you...
All I ever did was believe. Tried my best to survive, to always wear a smile. But if everything's going to be my fault, and I have to deal with that for the rest of my life, then I'm done. I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to live in this world anymore.
Calm down, please. I don't follow what you're saying. My understanding is that you desired money, so you brought that mob. And before that, you used my father.
You wouldn't believe me even if I told you the real story. You'll take your family's word over mine. You don't have any idea what I went through there. How hard it was just to keep myself together.
What?
I never wanted riches. All I wanted was a decent enough wage to allow my family to live comfortably.
That's all I wanted. But that man, he used my family against me. He made me, but forced me to, he raped me.
Oof.
What? Again and again, no matter how much I resisted, he wouldn't stop. Again and again, he threatened to be beat me, cut me with a knife, over and over and over again.
But what? My father raped you?
No one would believe me. I did nothing wrong. You don't believe me either, do you? So I'm done. I don't want this body anymore. I don't want to live like this anymore. I can't take it anymore. Help me, please. Set me free. Kill me. Kill me already. Use your curse and kill me. Kill me. Ah!
Give me a moment. I need time to process this.
You can do it, can't you? Then kill me already. Kill me. Kill me now. Kill me, damn it!
Give me time so we can talk this through. I want to hear everything from the beginning. Inside, let's go and talk. The light hurts my eyes. Oh, I didn't think I would. I wasn't really prepared to try and do that voice acting. I think I've done my throat in. But that was something, jeez. That was a door. I might have best let stay shut. Not knowing the truth would have been so much easier. I wouldn't have been made to shudder in disgust hearing about the crimes of my own family. Oh, this is Michel. But if I hadn't opened that door, I would have lost everything. That day, after far too long, I finally let myself see the person Giselle. Giselle didn't recover for some time after I managed to get her inside. Unsure what else I could do for her, I had her sit before the fireplace and waited in silence as she sobbed. I had no idea what one was supposed to say to someone who was crying. Was it normal to offer them a warm drink? I didn't know. I did know I needed to reflect on the things she had said outside and try to make sense of them. From there, calm myself down and prepare for the conversation we were to have, as unpleasant as I was sure it would be. A considerable amount of time later, Giselle's sobbing drew to a stop, an oppressive silence stepping in to take its place. Awkward silence. For far longer than was comfortable. The only sound we heard was a gentle crackling of the fire. I had to say something. I knew that, but what I didn't know was how to begin. I knew nothing about having an honest, face-to-face discussion with someone about the things we were thinking and feeling. But that didn't change anything. I had to do it. Even if down that road lay truths I would be happier not seeing. Giselle, could you please tell me what you did what was done to you at my family's home? How you ended up coming to this mansion and what happened after you left? I would like to know everything, from start to finish.
Will you believe what I tell you?
You never so much just gave me the time of day before. I very much doubt you will find what I have to say agreeable. Will you still believe me even then? Believe my word, a stranger's word, over your family or the people of the village? I cannot yet say. I must hear what you have to say to make that decision. I suppose that might be better than you saying you'll believe me unconditionally. All right, I'll tell you everything. Just know that nothing I say is a lie. Understood. Giselle methodically recounted her tale for me. She told me of how she accepted an offer from the Bollingers to work as an Abigail to earn money for her family, of how my father, Antonin, had other plans for her, of the things he did to her. He spoke dryly, simply putting words to each event one after the other. I had already seen how she felt deep down, though. Had heard her pained screams, which were undoubtedly genuine. I didn't think she was trying to deceive me. That was the sound of old wounds being torn open, and even I could see that. Or perhaps my own experiences were what allowed me to see it. Regardless, I had realized too late. I should have seen it sooner. She described it all mechanically, to remain detached from what had happened to her, to protect herself. Of that, I had no doubts. Still, the things she told me were almost unbearable, and I had a difficult time accepting them. What was I supposed to do? When I learned my father was a rapist, how was I supposed to react to that revelation? What was I supposed to think about the fact that his blood flowed through me? I repulsed myself. Do you want all the details? What do you mean? Of the wounds he gave me. I still have scars from the things he did. If you don't believe me, I can show them to you. No, that won't be necessary. I see. That's a relief. I don't think I could have handled that right now. I hadn't turned down her offer for her sake. I only did so because I didn't think I could take any more. I averted my eyes to protect myself. Why had I taken my mother's word? Brushing aside everything Giselle had said and done, I knew good and well my mother was no longer in her right mind. So why had I thought her letter the truth? Why had I been unable to think rationally? There were, I believe, several factors. My childhood, my past, the witch's whispers, and above all, my own character. Consumed with distrust for everything. I had to face it now, to open my eyes once more, to look at everything I had pretended away until now. I was not completely blameless for her suffering after all. Please continue, if you will. I left off at the point where the mistress discovered what was happening, I believe. I was sent to this mansion to atone for my sins. Sins that she didn't even commit. It was decided I would be sent here rather than being executed, which is what the mistress wanted. At first I assumed it would be essentially a private prison. But in the carriage on the way here, I was given a letter. A letter? From whom? It didn't say, but your father was the one who ordered me here, so I would guess it was him. The letter was very concise, simply explaining that there was someone already there. The Bollinger's youngest child. It didn't go into any more detail than that. But it did ask me to look after you. Do you still have the letter? I don't. The coachman took it back after I was finished. Thinking back on it now, that was rather strange of him to do. It was just a harmless letter. It was anything but... What? It wasn't my father who wrote that letter. He believes me to be dead, so he would rather have sincerely thought he was banishing you to an empty house in a remote forest. The writer couldn't risk leaving anything that might suggest I was still alive. Then who? My brother, I believe. Either Didier or George's, but I would guess Didier. Your brother? Why would he? I do not know. I can't imagine why he would write such a letter, or why he would want to tell you about me. I don't believe he had any ill intentions, at least. I mean, he asked me to look after you. That makes it sound like he's concerned about you. Then why doesn't he stay in contact? Why does he never respond to my letters? It's a bit late to suddenly start being concerned. No, never mind that now. Please, tell me the rest. All right. Giselle resumed her story from the day she fled the mansion, terrified by my behaviour. She seemed to be putting a bit more emotion in her tone of voice now, perhaps because she could see I was more interested in this part. There was a deep sadness on her face as she described that night in the rain, listening to the thunder, when she gave up on living. And I knew I had caused it. She then told me of the time she spent in the nearby village. How, at first, life had seemed wonderful, but in time it had come crumbling down. Naturally, she wouldn't be here to tell me this if nothing had happened there. Once she was through with her tale, Giselle let out a long, heavy sigh, as though she had been holding it in for some time. I thought I could hear just a faint trembling in the air she exhaled. That is everything. Do you believe me? If you don't, if you still think I'm deceiving you, then I won't argue with you. That's fine. If that's the case, please, just kill me. Why didn't you tell me this sooner? I know I wasn't very open to anything you said, but if that day, when I found you in my room, you had told me I was mistaken, that the sin belonged to my father, it might not have turned out like this. The knife. What? You're holding a knife. I can't handle blades anymore. Ever since that happened, they scare me to death. Just the sight of one in someone's hand, and I start thinking they're going to use it on me. I can't help it. I start shaking uncontrollably, growing faint of breath. The world goes white. Can't even form words. There's nothing I can do. Now I finally see. She was grimacing in pain. The day the package arrived, when you knocked my hand away. Because I was scared. Because it reminded me of that time. I had assumed she was simply jumpy from a guilty conscience. I felt nauseous, realizing I had been pouring a constant stream of salt onto her unmendable wounds. What a damn fool I was. Why did you get so upset at me? Why did you have to point a knife at me? I didn't want you snooping. If you meant to sell information about me, I thought I had to do anything in my power to stop you. I'm still not convinced it was necessary. I was unarmed. I couldn't fight back. You didn't need a knife. I have nothing left anymore, so I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. You're a jerk. Yeah, he deserves that.
What you did was inexcusable. You may not have hurt me physically, but you still hurt me. Humans are frail creatures. They wound easily. Apologize.
But
Apologize to me. I said apologize.
I'm sorry.
Again, put your heart into it. Convince me you mean it.
I'm sorry.
Again, once more, get down on your knees and shout it from your gut.
I am very sorry. I am very sorry. Ooh, that didn't sound genuine. Was that a laugh?
Jeez, you're such a strange man.
Strange. You told me to do it.
Nothing's going like I thought it would. I figured even if we talked, you would just deny everything I said. I didn't think you'd actually listen to me. But you did. You listened, and you looked quite distressed by what you heard.
I looked distressed?
Oh yes, you sure did. I wish I'd had a mirror to show you. I'm sure you didn't want to believe what I said, but you didn't once accuse me of lying. You faced up to the truth and you apologized. I seem to have had the wrong impression of you as well. I didn't try to see you for who you were, instead letting myself believe you were someone to be afraid of. To be honest, I didn't like you very much.
The feeling was mutual. Oof. But for some reason, I don't feel that way now. Is it guilt?
I need to apologize to you too.
Apologize? For what?
I led the villagers here. I almost sold my soul to the devil. I tried to sell you out to save myself. And for that, I am truly sorry.
I don't understand.
What, do I need to get down on my knees too?
No, that's not what I meant.
The blame falls on the village for falsely accusing you of stealing.
You were a convenient scapegoat for the real thieves. They planned to take advantage of you from the start. That Amity was probably in on it as well, to get back at you for rejecting his proposal.
I mean, makes sense, but it's a big, I don't know, big jump, maybe?
Plus, giving the village a single target to let out their frustrations on would, in a way, help unify them. He used you to meet that end.
I wonder if Amity was the one that actually stole the goods. And then he blamed Giselle.
In order to escape from their trap, you told them about me. But this was after I had threatened you, causing you to flee from this place. You have nothing to apologize for.
Still, I still feel really bad about it. So, I'm sorry anyway.
You're unexpectedly stubborn.
But now that we've both apologized to each other, we can call everything square.
Square?
Square. We were both in the wrong, so we apologized and we forgave each other.
She gave a little smile, but all I could do was stare at her, brow furrowed in perplexity, like I was looking at some bizarre fantasyland creature. The weight of our crimes was not equal. What I had done to her was so very much worse. Furthermore, I am Antonin's son. His blood flows through me. Can you honestly say you don't find me revolting? That you're willing to forgive me for that? I didn't think I would be able to. If I were her, my grudge would extend to all of my family, everyone I had ever come in contact with.
I can. Although, you don't need forgiveness for being his son. Being related to someone doesn't make you responsible for their sins. It wouldn't be fair to blame you for that.
You're curious. What? Curious? About what? No, not that curious. You are a strange creature. I'm human, you know. Yes, I know you're human. You're making me lightheaded. Is it a medical emergency? That's quite the leap in logic. You know, I was at my lowest just a little bit ago, and now I'm laughing again. It's odd. I never expected I would recover at all. I was just as surprised as her. She had been through hell, and she had more than enough reason to despise me, to shower me with vitriol, but instead, she was smiling. And even more unexpected was the fact that I felt relieved to see it. I really wished I had gotten to know him. Oh, this is from Giselle's point of view. I really, truly wished I had gotten to know him sooner. Yes, I had fled from the mansion in fear of him, but maybe if I had just a little more courage, enough to tell him the truth, maybe he would have listened. I had let my initial impression of him solidify too quickly. I had convinced myself he was insensitive and perpetually expressionless, save for the Arctic stare. But the man standing before me did experience sadness, pain, distress, or at the very least, he appeared to from where I was standing. Michel was, just like me, an ordinary person. That said, there was still plenty I didn't know. I was still lacking explanation for much of his behaviour. Would you mind telling me about yourself now? I'd like to get to know you better. What are you doing here in this mansion, all alone? Why do you call yourself cursed? I told you everything. It's only fair you do the same. I have no interest in using your information for anything. I have no reason to. Or are you going to keep pushing the master and servant line? Do you still think I have no need to know? Be quiet. For the love of God, stop talking already. You always pick the worst time. But what? Excuse me? What do you mean I always pick the worst time? No, I wasn't. Unbelievable. Just when I was starting to think you might actually be a decent human being, then you go and spout this? No, Giselle, I wasn't talking to you. Who else could it have been? I was, talking to, you know, I have a condition that forces me to vocalize objections to my own thoughts. You know, that's about as convincing as my allergic to people excuse. Sorry. Weirdo. What crosses did he bear? What secrets did he keep? Maybe the truth was far beyond my reckoning, and if it was, even if he did, please, tell me everything. No matter what you say, I won't doubt your words. I will trust you, and I'm sure I can accept anything you say. Please, if you don't put it into words, I have nothing to work with. Okay. Where should I start, though? How about the curse, then? Are you actually cursed? That's a difficult question. I cannot, for example, take someone's life with my curse, nor can I bring about disaster. I don't have any magical powers like that. So, what you said outside was a bluff, then? It was just a way to chase the villagers away. Well, you certainly put on a convincing performance. so you can't actually curse anyone. Huh. Regardless, I am human. Nothing more, nothing less. At least I consider myself one. Others would disagree. And the reason for that has to do with my body. Your skin, hair and eye color, right? Right. Seeing Michel under the sun, he certainly wasn't what most people would consider normal. Awe-inspiring, in fact. Giving birth to me, it broke my mother. No, I drove her mad. Not only do I appear inhuman, I am oversensitive to sunlight. While a little light through the window isn't much of a problem, I can't be outside directly under the sun for more than a couple hours. When she realized I couldn't go out into the sun, my mother started thinking I was possessed by a demon. So she banished me to this mansion until my curse was broken. That was 10 years ago. Just because you look different from them? The family's reputation was at stake too. If other noble houses realized they were giving refuge to an unholy creature, it would destroy the Bollingers. You saw how the villagers reacted. They called me a demon when they saw me. I suspect the rumours about the mansion played a part in that. If nobody thought the house was cursed, they wouldn't have. I'm sure you were afraid as well. You saw me, and thought I was not of this world, that I looked like a demon. I thought you looked like an angel. Oh, what? I at least thought you looked more like an angel than a demon. It never once crossed my mind that you might be evil. But I understand your situation now. Because of your appearance, you've lived all alone in this dark mansion for 10 years. It was never really an inconvenience. They bring me all the supplies I need. You big liar. Have you never considered running away? That's not an option. Because of the sun? No. I could move during the night if I really wanted to. I'm being watched, to ensure I don't leave. Watched? They can't allow anyone to find out that I am alive, particularly at the Bollinger estate. If I were to run and they were to find out, I would probably be killed. If only I didn't stand out so much, I might be able to stay out of sight easier. But also, I had been holding on to a little hope, I think. Hope that I might be able to return someday. I have all but given up that hope now, though. Not that I ever had enough willpower to really fight for it. I see. You don't need to worry about pitying me either. It's long since become normal to me. That's not something that should ever become normal. So, what was that really a moment ago? You don't actually have a condition that makes you argue with yourself, do you? Please, tell me. You don't have to believe me. In fact, I doubt you will. You're free to think I'm completely mad. Don't worry, I want to know. I can hear the witch's voice. The witch's voice? It started when I first arrived at the mansion. No one else can hear it either. Like I said, it sounds crazy. Not at all. I said I would trust you, so I believe you. Maybe he's not well. Yeah, that has to be it. 10 years all alone in one place, and you're bound to start hearing things. He seems like a delicate person, too. Thinking about it like that, I'm starting to feel really sorry for him.
Do I want to know what you're thinking?
I'm here for you.
Huh?
I've made up my mind. I'm going to stay here with you.
Wait. What?
Don't worry. I'll shout so loud you won't be able to hear that silly witch's voice anymore.
Will you now?
If you hear it again, let me know. Understood? You don't have to be afraid.
I never said I was.
Wherever you hear it, I'll be there with you, holding your hand. Well, we kind of took the extremely long route, but there you have it. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Master.
Master.
Now, where should we begin? I know, supper. Are you hungry? What should I make?
Slow down, please.
What is it? Is there something you'd like? I'm happy to accommodate.
You actually intend to stay here? Again? After what happened last time?
Because of what happened. Because of that, we're finally able to see past each other's surface. I want us to try again, from the beginning. And this time, actually try to be considerate of one another's feeling. That's a promise, Master.
All right.
I can stay here, right?
I don't mind.
I'm glad to hear it.
Say.
Yes, Master?
If you ever want something from me, could I please ask you to put it into words? I don't have much faith in my ability to pick up on things.
Got it. Then there's something to start with. Then here's something to start with. What do you say we open some of these windows?
Open the windows?
Yeah, we don't have to if you think it will cause you problems, but it'd be nice to get a little light in here. I'd like to put an end to this house being a dark, closed-off cave.
I wasn't the one who barred the windows.
You weren't?
They were like that when I arrived. Made it seem like a very appropriate place to lock me away. While I am sensitive to light, yes, as I mentioned, a little sun through the windows shouldn't cause any problems.
Alright then, can I ask you to help me open them? Let's both lighten this place up. After a few moments of silence, Michel gave me a curt nod. While we couldn't do anything about the windows that had been boarded up, the two of us forced open the ones that were just covered by rusted over shutters. When we got the first one open, a beautiful stream of light, like nothing I had ever seen before, flooded into the dark mansion's halls. I had assumed that spring would never come. All we had to do was talk to each other, listen to each other, and everything else would fall into place. But it was that first step that was so hard, so much harder than either of us had expected. And now that the ice was melting, we had to treasure that. It might not have seemed like much to someone else, but to us, it was a huge accomplishment. Oh, that is, man, that was a ride. This is really going places. This time, it'll all work out. It has to. I had all the confidence in the world when we were together, but now that I'm alone, in the dark, in the absolute silence of the night, I'm starting to get anxious again. Starting to feel like something bad is going to happen, like I'm going to mess something up again. We took a big step today, and I know I have to keep it together, to keep thinking positive.
The goods you're after, Giselle, are not cheap. Understand? Mm. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the woman hath committed 3 sins. She has lied, she has stolen, she has betrayed her fellow man. It's all right. It's okay. There's nothing to be afraid of, Giselle. Whatever happens, you have to hold fast to your faith in the goodness of others. I'd be hating all of humanity forever if I was her. So, kudos to Giselle for having to be able to fight back. You have no reason to tremble. Yes, come in. That's odd. I don't think I was hearing things. Uh-oh. There's no one there. What was that about? Oh? A glass. It's wine. And it's so warm. Warm wine? What? I guess he heated it on the fire for me? No, this is odd. Oh, you could have at least said hi. I have a feeling this is going to work out. It's ominous. Feels ominous. This is not a purchase. My oh my. Well, first of all, let me save. Yes. One thing I want to just double check is the backlog, and there's no mysterious kind of... I mean, we've not had any glitches, so I don't think there's going to be anything there. Show my face. Oh, but yes. We'll leave it there for now. That was quite something, man. I'm getting a bit emotional there. I definitely think Giselle's had a much... I mean, yes, we've not heard everything about Michel's story, so there's maybe more to it than he lets on. And he's mentioned his 2 brothers, which have not been... I know he's the 3rd son of the Bollinger family. And so there was inevitably 2 other brothers, but this is the first time we've kind of heard their names, and I've now already forgotten them. And I wonder if there's more to the story about them, especially since Michel suspects that his brother gave Giselle that note just before she was dropped off at the mansion. Yeah, this is... Oof, this is... Let's config, go back to the title. Yes. This is getting intense, man. But anyway, we'll leave it there for now. This is the house in Fata Morgana. I am Ashmanix, and I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye bye.